Covering news that matters in Wagoner County, the case filed by a Broken Arrow couple fighting for grandparent visitation is now going back to the same judge they say has kept them from seeing their grandson for 7 years. They say they'll fight all the way to the Supreme Court if they have to finally be reunited. Sharing a happy moment like this with their grandson is something the Woolies long to do but haven't been able to since 2018. Now in 2025, they're still in a legal battle, currently fighting for visitation.
We've never been able to share our story in court, ever, since the very day this started, and that's what's a travesty.
Fox 23 has brought you extensive coverage of Bill and Lisa Wooley's legal journey that was also featured in a documentary and podcast. They had custody of their 2 grandsons when the younger boy, Elijah, died in their care. They were charged with murder and sexual abuse based on the autopsy from the state medical examiner's office. DHS removed the other grandson, and they later faced charges of abusing him. When an expert who usually testifies for the state testified on behalf of the Woolies, pointing out what he called flaws with the autopsy and determined there was no abuse, all charges were dropped by the Wagoner County District Attorney in 2021. But that didn't change anything with DHS or the guardianship case. The judge in that case is the one now being sent the filing for grandparent visitation following Monday morning's hearing. So the Woolies plan to file for her recusal.
That is not an unbiased judge. That is a biased judge, and she has no right to be over this case. So we're going to try to get her removed, and hopefully that'll happen, and we can get a fair trial, a fair shake at this.
My guardianship over Clayton was never legally dissolved. I never got a hearing. You have to have a hearing or it's not right, it's not legal.
3 state lawmakers showed up to support the Woolies. Their son, the boy's uncle, Representative Gabe Wooley, Senator Julie McIntosh, and Senator Dana Prieto of Tulsa, who's been critical of DHS, publicly calling for reform.
One of the problems I see is the parents or the legal guardians are allowed to get the DHS files. It can take them months to get those files. Sometimes they never get them, or if they get them, they've taken information out of it, and the information that they've taken out of it is always damning of DHS. And so that's, the system is stacked.
All this time, no one on the Wooley side of the family has been allowed to see the boy, who's now 13. They have this message for him.
We're fighting. We will never stop.
Ever give up on him, ever.
When I've reached out to the judge in the guardianship case previously, she told me state law prevents her from commenting on any legal matters involving juveniles. Same goes for DHS. It's also important to point out DHS is operating under new leadership since last summer. You can check out our previous coverage of this story from over the years on fox23.com. Just type Wooley in the search bar.